Hello, both sides of the conversation family. We welcome you to this virtual space crafted especially for you. My name is Jada Curry, and I'm both sides of the conversation's marketing director and graphics design specialist. I want to take some time to ground us all as a community into this space we are about to open up in, so let's go through our community standards. Both sides of the conversation is providing a safe and honest space for open conversation, so we ask that you all be respectful of that. We also ask that you be respectful of each panelist, host, and participant. We do encourage healthy debates and conversations. Don't personalize anything with anyone. This includes name-calling, bullying, trolling, or shaming. This will not be allowed or tolerated. Your perspective is yours. It is not a prescription. You do not have to agree, but show respect. These community standards apply to all of our live shows and any virtual spaces that we hold on social media, including YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. We want to make sure that we are caring for each other as a community. This is our priority in all of our endeavors as both sides of the conversation. With that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's show and continue to stay in touch with us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or all of them. All right, thank you for listening and see you soon.
Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Sunday, so you know what that means. We're going to have another Sunday conversation, but this week's Sunday's conversation is a little different because we are highlighting and congratulating and celebrating our young graduates of 2022. So today is a great program because we get to uplift, hear some of the youth as we're going to continue to do our part in helping change that narrative about young folks, some of the obstacles that they go through. This is a Dream Keeper Initiative show in honor to change the narrative with our young folks. We have some phenomenal young folks that's on here today. They're going to talk about some of the things that they had to overcome during the school year to make it to graduation and to graduate. And some of them are on honors. Some of them are doing some amazing things. So can't wait to hear from them. And just excited. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into some of the world announcements, some of the community events, and some of the things that are taking place around community as we get ready to kick off today's Sunday conversation. First, just want to say, wow, what is amazing weather around here in the Bay Area today. I know a lot of folks are out celebrating at the Black Rodeo out in Hayward. So shout out to all of the folks. Yesterday, I got word back. So many folks was out there, sold out show, great entertainment for the young kids. The young people had a great time, and they said that the rodeo was great, amazing. They put on a great show, and today is the second show. I wish I could be out there, but today, nothing's more important than these young folks, uplifting them and hearing about their journey and where they're going. So just excited to be here as well. Also, we got a number of community events that are taking place for both sides of the conversation. As you all know, we are gearing up, getting ready for next Saturday, as we're going to take 30 young people from San Francisco up to Sacramento to the drag race strip to check out Team Bodie, D&M Racing, and a number of other Black drag racers from here in the Bay Area. And it's just going to be amazing to get our young folks out of the community, take them to a different environment, and show them something different. So we are excited about that. Also, there's a number of community events that we'll be getting a part of, some crucial things that are taking place in the community. Tomorrow, you'll see us all streaming live. We'll be in San Francisco at IT Bookman, and they'll be talking about the state of IT Bookman and some of the things that's going on with them. And then we'll jump into our Hidden Gem segment next Tuesday. We are still looking for some other folks to come on and join us for our Educational Thursday. If that is you, you have an educational presentation or a digital PowerPoint that you would like to come educate our community, please reach out to us, sign up, as we are trying to continue to give that information to our community. So we are excited about that. A number of changes have been taking place over the weekend. If you all heard last week, Mayor London Breed had announced the new district attorney. for San Francisco. So we'll be getting her on our segment to come talk about some of the plans and some of the things that she is going to be doing moving forward in this short term that she has into November. So again, more information to come down the pipeline, but she was sworn in on Friday. And again, we'll be getting her here on both sides of the conversation to come talk about some of the things that she's going to be doing, different changes, different perspective, different ideals. I know community has a number of concerns, and we're going to get her on, and you all can ask some of those questions that you all have for her. And again, we have a number of events that we're going to be a part of. You guys going to see us all around. If you don't follow us, please go to our website, sign up for our newsletter so you can find out what events we have. Check us out on all of our social media handles, both sides of the conversation. Check out our Facebook page, our Facebook group, our Instagram, Twitter, all social media handles at both sides of the conversation so you can be up to date of what's going on, where we're going to be at, and some of the things that we are doing to help impact community as well. So excited about that. So with that being said, let's jump into some of the world news, some of the community stuff, and we'll be getting started with today's conversation. As you all heard or may have not heard, Japan is launching a murder investigation into the assassination of the former Japanese prime minister. You all don't know, last week the prime minister of Japan was shot while giving a speech in Japan. And, they're bringing out more and more information. Little is known about the suspect at this time, but age 67 was pronounced dead by doctors at the Nara Medical Center at 5 p.m. local time Friday, just over 5 hours after being shot while delivering a campaign speech on crowded streets. Unfortunate to hear that in these times. Political leaders and different folks can't even have difference of opinions without things taking place. Again, that's the political realm. Unfortunate. Our condolences out to that family. But again, things are going to go down. More information will come out, and we'll help give that information to community. Also, Breonna Taylor arrested, and there was a warrant issue out for Jacob Blake's father and seven other charged for the Jayland Walker's shooting protest. As you all know, there was a protest that took place of the police officer shooting a young brother, and I think some things have taken place, and I believe the police is trying to arrest them. So we'll keep you all updated as we get more information on that. Also, Vernon Winfrey, Oprah's dad, has passed away. The former councilman passed away at 89 years old. Our condolences to Sister Oprah Winfrey and her family as she lost her dad this week. Also, New York City health officials are issuing a mask advisory. According to the CDC, all 5 of the New York boroughs are now in the high alert level for COVID, as COVID is still spreading around in our community. Here in the Bay Area, a number of counties has also implemented the mask mandate, making it mandatory that people wear masks indoors and outdoors. Again, community, COVID is still spreading around. It is airborne. I know the numbers have dropped tremendously, but there has been a rise and increase. A lot of folks are just walking around with no mask. A lot of people are being nonchalant. If these numbers keep going up, more and more cities, counties, and states are going to follow, increase, putting the mask mandate on. So if you don't like the mask and you want to get out of it, do your part and wear your mask. Be safe. This COVID is still spreading around, and there's also a couple of more variants that are coming out, and people are worried and dealing with this, and the numbers are starting to increase. So please, community, be safe. Be mindful when you're in crowded spaces. Try to keep your social distance. And also, if you have a mask, please put on the mask. And if you're not feeling well, the biggest thing is folks are sometimes having symptoms, sometimes are not, and they're out in the community, affecting the community and other folks in the community. So again, be mindful. If you catch COVID or if you feel sick, please stay in the house and isolate yourself from community folks so that we do not continue to spread COVID throughout our community. Gas prices are continuing to drop. There's been about a 24-hour drop that people are seeing. This has been the highest gas prices in about 15 years. I think they went down about 3 cents over the last couple of days. Gas is still high. So community, do your part. Be mindful if you don't want to pay these high gas prices, to be mindful of where you're going. Try to make all of your stops strategic so that you're not running up these high gas prices. Some cities, they're $7, $8 a gallon. And it's really putting a stronghold on people's pocketbooks, especially in the Black community. People are struggling. Single moms are struggling. As the inflation continues to go up, these gas prices could put extra pressure on single families and those discretionary funds as folks are getting ready for going back to school. A lot of parents are getting ready for school shopping. Those high gas prices and those high inflation numbers is impacting the pocketbooks of many families. Also, both sides of the conversation, we will be a part of a number of backpack giveaways as they start getting close. We'll be giving that information out to community. So parents, please be aware. We'll be getting that out. There's a number of backpack giveaways that we'll be having. We'll be partnered with some other organizations. So there'll be plenty backpacks for young folks. Over 5,000 families will be served with papers, books, and different things that needed for young folks to go to school. So we will be putting that information out as soon as more and more dates and details come up. Also, the Las Vegas Raiders, they hired the first Black female team president. According to CBS News, the Las Vegas Raiders have made history, hiring Sandra Douglas Morgan as the team's new president. This is a monumental role for women, Black women, especially in the NFL, as more and more teams and sports are going to women referees, women owners, women coaches. So shout out to her for making history. Again, Black history happens all year long in this country. We're not just going to celebrate it in February, and that is history for Black women and for the Black folks of these United States of America. So shout out to her. Shout out to the Raiders for being the culture difference, making the changes, and breaking those barriers. With that being said, we'll jump into a couple community events and then get started with today's segment. One of the first events that's going to be happening, they're going to be having an economic empowerment meeting for the San Francisco Reparation Advisory Committee. That's going to be happening Monday, July 11th at 5:30 p.m. We'll get that information out to the community. Also, we'll be sharing those flyers out on our social media handles. So if you want to hear about what's going on with the economic reparations, you want to hear some of the reparations talk that's going on. There's a statewide reparation. There's also a citywide reparation that's taking place in San Francisco. And there's a number of other cities that are starting to kick off these task force. So Monday will be a great listen-in session. If you would like to listen in, please go to sfreparations.org and you can find out more information there as well. Also, I just mentioned it earlier, the drag racing event, the Day at the Strips, is happening Saturday, July 16th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Sacramento Raceway, and that is 5305 Associate Road in Sacramento. It's going to be a great time. If you have never seen fast cars, beautiful cars, you want to see this, take this out, take your young folks out. All kids under 12 years old will be admitted free, and it's a great event. So again, we are looking forward to this event, and we'll be packing up 30 young folks from San Francisco, taking them to support the Team Bodie and D&M Racing. Also, the SF Rebels is still hosting the STEM Summer Camp. They're having various sessions all the way up till July 22nd at Gateway High School. Reach out to our guy, Nate Ford, at the SF Rebels if you would like to get your young folks involved with that summer camp. It is still going on, a couple of weeks left. Also, the Alive and Free alumni, Friends and Barbecue, they're celebrating 35 years of Alive and Free. It is going to be Saturday, August 6th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. in Castro Valley at the Castro Valley Park at 18988 Lake Chabot Road in Castro Valley. If you want to come out and support that event, it's going to be barbecue fun, some great folks, and you guys can go meet the voice of Street Soldier. If y'all know, here in the Bay Area, Cameo Street Soldiers, every Sunday, Dr. Marshall, he'll be out there as well. Also, the Invest Black Youth and Comedy Award Show is happening August 13th. The tickets are sold out, but we'll be there for that event. The Camp Mather High Sierras Teen Outdoor Experience is still happening August 25th through the 28th. If you would like to be a part of it, please call 415-680-7715. A lot of young folks from the community will be up there. Great time to teach young folks how to ride horses, archery, and a number of other things that they're going to be teaching our young folks. Great time out for the young folks before school kicks back off. Also, to both sides of the conversation announcements, we are still looking for volunteers, young people, all ages, to come help continue to build this platform. There's a lot of community support that we would like to do, things that we would like to do internally. So if you have skill sets that you would like to give back and contribute to the community, please reach out to us on our website at www.bsotc.org, and we'll have someone reach out to you. Also, if you would like to support us, you can support us financially through Amazon Smile. Sign up for Amazon Smile. Every time you make a purchase, no extra charge to you, Amazon will donate 0.5% of your sales to both sides of the conversation. All you have to do is choose us as one of your charitable organizations, and definitely they'll make sure that we get the support every time you make a purchase on Amazon. Also, you can follow us on all of our social media handles to get more news, information, what's going on in the community. Reach out to us at both sides of the conversation or bsotc.org. Also, we are happy to announce services, things that we're able to provide to community. One of it is our drone services. If you have an event coming up, a wedding, a birthday, and it's an outdoor event, and you would like to have us come catch some of the footages, take some pictures, we have a drone that we use to go out and catch footage. And we put up a couple of videos from some of the events that we were a part of. Pretty good shots, pretty good footage of what's going on. Also, we have a 360 photo booth. So if you have an event and you would like to bring the 360 photo booth out, please reach out to us. We have a step and repeat backdrop. Also, we can stream live at any one of the events that you would like. Please reach out to us for pricing and availability through both sides of the conversation or on our website, www.bsotc.org. Click on the events or reach out to events@bsotc.org. With that being said, our upcoming shows is Tuesday. We'll be having another segment of our Hidden Gem show, our Educational Thursday on Thursday, and then we'll be having another Sunday conversation. The 17th will be our youth conversation, as we're going to be kicking off our monthly youth conversation with the youth of both sides of the conversation to hear their voices and talk about the things that they feel community needs to hear about and some of the things that they are feeling and want to be a part of and wanted to uplift and highlight. So with that being said, we have Tony Rochelle here today. She's going to be co-hosting with us today as we get started for today's Sunday conversation. Today is the uplift and celebration of the class of 2022 graduates. We have some phenomenal high school graduates that are going to be going to the next level. We also have college graduate Brandon Powell that's on here to talk about his stuff. So with that being said, enough of me. I've said enough. Let's go ahead and begin to introduce today's guests, our panelists, these phenomenal graduates of the class of 2022. With that being said, first off, we're going to bring up young brother Jordan. Jordan, take a few minutes to introduce yourself to community. Tell them what school you graduated, where you going, what you trying to do. Oh, you got to unmute yourself, Jordan. You got to unmute yourself.
Oh, excuse me. I actually, signed up for the Hidden Gems, but I'm glad to be here. I graduated a little minute ago, actually, but my name's Jordan, J2O the Don across all, social media platforms. But I gotta highlight Five Keys Charter School if I can, because they definitely, I was at a point where I wasn't really too fond of school. Like, I just wasn't. But then it took an actual teacher, Amir, to bring it out of me. It started from just one subject, which was math, and then from that, I just like literally my search for education actually, started from then. And then, I just really took on that challenge. And from there, I excelled. I've learned a lot, especially history. When it comes to history, I'm like a big proponent for that, but I'm definitely about to go back to college, but I got a little under my belt, but I'm definitely, that's something that I want to do. So, yeah.
Right on, good brother. Hang in there. Next up, we got our Gator, Brandon Powell, graduating out of SF State. Come on up and talk to the people, Brandon.
Hello, everybody. My name is Brandon Powell. John Henry is, in fact, my cousin. Fun fact. Yeah, so I just graduated SF State with a degree in. Hold on, let me adjust this camera. My bad. All right, there we go. That's good. I just graduated SF State this year with a degree in general business management. I'm going to use that degree to basically stay in the business of pest control. The company I work for is called Best Pest Services. We service basically mainly the East Bay and San Francisco. So the majority of our jobs are in like Richmond, Oakland, Alameda. We even have some jobs in Daly City, South San Francisco, and a lot majority of our jobs are in like San Francisco, mainly the downtown area, particularly the TL. And for those of you who are from around here, y'all know they do need help down there. Yeah, so definitely that, and just continuing to work, continuing to grow both spiritually and mentally. I'm also a Jehovah's Witness. I'm a baptized, so yeah, that's a big part of my life as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to talking on here and having a good time. I appreciate being invited onto this platform. Thank you.
All right. Next up, we have Shai Smith.
Hi everyone, my name is Shai and I just graduated high school from St. Ignatius, also known as SI. I will be attending the University of San Francisco, also known as USF, in the fall with undeclared business. So I'm not sure which route I want to go in yet, but I'm just keeping my options open and exploring. No?
Yeah. All right. Another USF. We have Miss Nia.
Hi everyone, I'm Nia. I graduated from ICA Cristo Rey. It's an all-girls school. I'm not sure what college I will be going to. I was supposed to go to Jackson State, but I found out that they didn't have enough housing, so I'm keeping my options open. And yeah.
All right, Nia. Brother Terrell. You gotta unmute yourself. You gotta unmute.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Terrell Oliver, graduated from Mission High School. In the fall, I'm going to be attending Fresno State and, majoring in kinesiology.
All right, Brother Terrell, one of the Bears, Mission Bears, going to be a Bulldog, huh? Going to be a Bulldog. All right. Let's see. Who else I got to bring up? Oh, Jalen got it kicked off, and then we'll bring up Tony. Tony, you could come up, and we'll get started.
Hello, everybody. Congratulations to you young people. All right, y'all ready to get into this?
Yeah, let's get into it. I think Jalen got kicked off. We'll bring Jalen back up if he gets back on. I know he's at a tournament, so we'll get Jalen Joyce. I know he's trying to log in, but he's at a basketball tournament, so we'll get him when he comes back on. Another phenomenal young brother. But with that being said, we want to start off today's conversation because, part of this, you all graduating, going on to do different things in your lives, getting ready to make big steps, big changes. Brandon, you finishing up doing business. So, just excited for all you graduating in community. Let's make sure y'all get in the comments, show some of these young people love, because we know over the last 2 years, through this COVID, there's been a lot of ups and downs. This last year, especially coming out, people going through hybrid models, different things happening. And we want to talk about it a little bit because there's a stigma, there's a narrative out there that young Black males, young Black females are not excelling in the educational realm. There's a lot of folks saying that young Black kids in America are just not doing what it takes, to make it to college or going through the educational place. And, we know that that's not true. So, here, both sides of the conversation, part of this Dream Keeper is just, making sure that we change that narrative. We don't want to hear from all these other folks who are always trying to put negativity spotlights on our community. But we also want to make sure that our young people, the young folk that are doing amazing things like you all walking across the stage, some of you are being the first generation of college students of your families, just highlighting that and making sure community know, even through the struggles, the obstacles, that our young folks are still excelling and doing what it takes to be productive young people and also making change in our community. So with that being said, we can start off with anybody who want to jump in there. I want to hear from y'all about y'all experience during the pandemic. How was it during the pandemic? You know what I mean? Going on Zoom school, being removed from your friends, and just, being able to have that access to your teacher. How was it? How difficult was it for you? And is that something that you could consider in the future, or you don't never want to do Zoom school again? So anybody can start. Somebody jump in there and talk about it. Go
Uh,
ahead, Brandon. You go first.
so funny thing about me is I was already homeschooled for about 3 years of my life. So I did it for a year in high school, and then I did it for a couple in middle school. So I was already used to it. So whatever platform they used, I got adjusted to it really fast, and that wasn't really the problem. The more problem for me is I get distracted very easily. I have a very hard time focusing on anything for more than like 45 minutes to an hour. So I'll be doing homework, and then I see a YouTube video notification pop up, and I go, all right, I'm gonna go watch that. Just one video, no big deal, quick break. That turns into 2 videos, turns into 3 videos, turns into 5, turns into 10. Before you know it, I've been watching videos for 2 hours and I got no work done. And then it's like, I got to do all this work. So that was the biggest challenge for me. Another challenge was the lack of engagement because I need to be engaged whenever I'm learning. So if I'm not able to like engage with teachers or students while doing things, it's very difficult for me to like process the information and really know how this could be used. So oftentimes I'm just gonna be completely honest. I'd look up the answers a lot, basically, when it came to certain things. I just look up the answers, figure it out on my own. I wouldn't really ask teachers for too much help. I had some teachers that were very helpful, but mainly I used this a platform called Chegg. It was pretty common among college students and high school students use it too. It's basically like Spark Notes, except like on steroids. So you use it to help you with the problems, but you don't really like grasp anything. So I think that was another challenge. The third challenge was basically just staying motivated to get work done because it's like you're sitting at home all day. You're like, I can get that done in like 2 or 3 hours, no big deal. So I'm just go play video games or just eat a snack or go to sleep. And then you wake up and you're like, oh, it's 9 p.m. Oh, this is gonna take me till like midnight. All right, it's okay. Oh well, I'll wait another hour. It's okay. I'll work for 2 hours and then go to sleep. And then you just don't do anything, and then you wake up the next day like I did no work. So those are, I'd say, the biggest challenges while doing. And would I do it again? I would because I've learned a lot. However, I prefer if it be in person. But if I had to do it, I'd do it. So yeah.
Wow, good stuff there, Brandon. Terrell, what you think about the Zoom school? I know Mission had their ups and downs. Tell me what you thought about it.
Yeah, I didn't really like the Zoom because it made it a little too easy to like weasel my way through school. Like I was over there doing the same thing as Brandon said, like looking up all the answers, wasn't really learning much. And then I just like I like I'd rather work in groups, engage with other my peers, teachers, and make it like easier to learn.
Wow. Shirai, how was it for you for the Zoom school?
For me, it was like a big turning point because I feel like I had just got situated in high school, like the first year. It was very difficult for me from transferring from public school to private school because the education was like more rigorous, it was harder, it was stricter, and I had to kind of find my way around the school and really get myself out there. So I feel like I was at a good point and I was finally there. I found my teachers that I looked for support. Um, I made myself known at the school and then boom, COVID happened and I felt like it just ruined everything and it kind of put me on like a stopping point where it made me like, I don't know, like they were saying, it was easier to slack off. You had much more time to do whatever you want. And I didn't really enjoy staying on Zoom for long periods of time. I feel like it was like, I just feel like it was stressful and overwhelming. And I didn't know like who to look for support. So I kind of had to go out my way to use my resources that I used on campus, on Zoom, while also being at home. So I found those teachers, I emailed them, I made connections with them over Zoom. I set up Zoom meetings outside of school so that I can make sure that I stay on topic because I wasn't really managing my time right and I was gonna like felt like I was giving up. So I made sure I went on my way to get all the support I can. I used outside resources and school resources. My mom helped me get connected to resources and that really like helped me stay on topic. So it's more about like managing my time and making sure I stay on track.
Wow, that's pretty dope. Nia, what about you? How was the Zoom school for you, Nia?
Honestly, I did not like Zoom school at all. One, I was just honestly, it was just I wanted to be lazy. I'm at home all day, and honestly, I don't like you around your family too much. It kind of got irritable, so I just wanted to. So I just wanted to. I just wanted to get out the house and like enjoy everybody else's company. Also, I didn't really like learn anything in school like everybody is saying, and I just wanted to like just get out the house and not be inside stuck in the house all day.
Wow, yeah, a lot of kids they struggle with it. Some people liked it because they like I could get up in the morning and I have to get dressed and I could just lay there. But when it came to the learning, a lot of kids struggle with it. Jordan, how did you feel about Zoom and using Zoom over the past couple of years?
Well, let me put it to you like this. Just like everybody else, I'm with y'all. No, I did not like it, at all because the interaction. Me personally, I'm like an interactive person. Like, I like talking. I like, just getting to know everybody and what's going on. But you didn't have that. Like, but I did have like one on one with, my instructors, and it was better for me because I just getting to know your teacher, you build trust. You feel me? And so it's like, when I'm talking, or when I don't understand something, they right there to, explain it for me. And I like to know what's going on. I don't really like I can't just sit there and be like, okay, I hear you, I hear you. Like, nah, I need to know. I need for you to break it down for me. So I mean, I think I had a better experience off Zoom. Zoom not for me. But I definitely learned a lot for sure.
Tony, you got any questions? Tony, we get y'all with the next questions.
So, what kept you guys inspired? Like, I know, Brandon, you mentioned it. I'm like you, like, things take my attention very quickly. So, what was that one thing that just kept you inspired? Like, I'm at least turn the computer on. I'm at least show my face for 2 seconds. Like, what was that one thing that kept you like, I got to just keep going?
Um, the big picture, and the kid. There's multiple aspects to this. There's a spiritual aspect because my faith as a witness has taught me you should try your best at everything you do. So that helped me to be able to be like, all right, even though I don't like this, even though I get distracted, I'm still trying my best. I'm still going to try to, get this work done, show respect to the teacher, engage with the other students as much as I can. I was that basically I'm used to being that one person. I'm just the only dude who raises his hand and answers a question, or I'm the only person who's actually awake and what's going on. So like there's be times where my teachers would literally not know how to work Zoom and I'd be like, hey, there's nothing on the screen, or hey, you've been talking and we can't hear you. And then basically they'd be like, oh, thanks, Brandon, you're so great. I'm like, okay. So that's one. So I just want to set a good example as a witness to represent Jehovah's Witness as well. Number two was it's important for me to get my degree because it's going to help me when it comes to business. So I want to be able to do really well in with whatever job that I do. Also, having a college degree helps a lot. So you want to be able to feed yourself. We live in a very expensive area, and where 100K is considered basically like kind of broke. The rent's very, very high, so you gotta do what you can. And then another thing is I want to finish what I started. um I had a lot of trouble growing up with like quitting stuff because I didn't like it or I thought it was too much work, but I didn't want to quit this. I really wanted to finish this. And my grandmother as well, her name's Bonnie Bluford, she encouraged me as well. There were days where I'd talk to her, I'd be like, man, I don't even know why I'm doing this crap. I hate school. I don't even like studying. This is stupid. And she's like, no, Brendan, finish it. You got to finish it, Brendan. You're so close, Brendan. You can do this. I believe in you. And then just hearing that alone, I was like, all right, Granny, yeah, you're right. I can get this done. It's all right. So yeah, those are the biggest motivations of family, my faith, and just seeing the overall big picture of why I need to, finish this and get this done. That's what helped me to just get up and turn that camera on and turn that Zoom on and do that homework and finish everything.
Shout out to your grandma, Brandon. That's what's up. We all need that.
Exactly. What about Shai? What about Terrell? What motivated you all?
Well, through the pandemic, I had transfer schools to like an all boys school that mainly focused on sports, and like I really wanted to take football all the way. And it's like you gotta have a certain GPA to play sports. So I had to like lock in on this school stuff so I could be able to play football. Yeah. That's really what motivated me.
And T, I want to ask you, the impact, Coach Chi, when Coach Chi passed, how did that impact you? Like, how did you keep going? Did that make you want to play harder for him? Like, what
Yeah,
was
I ain't
that
gonna
experience
lie.
like?
That hurt me. I ain't gonna lie. Coach Chi hurt me. When he died, it was just like it changed everything. Everything was like for Chi right there in that moment. This past football season was for Chi. I had to join the track team. I wanted to go crazy for Chi. Everything was for Chi.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Nia, what about you, Shai?
I did. What kept me motivated is just getting good grades, wanting to get in a good college, having the grades for it, and honestly, it's just like making my mom proud too.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shai.
I guess like waking up every morning saying like I'm doing this for me and for my future of knowing like what I could become and my potential. And I guess you could also say like the support around me. I want to make sure I'm making everyone proud as well as myself. But those family members have made a big part of keeping me going. I guess my mom has always been there, supporting me in every way.
What's up? Family is important. Definitely got to always have the family support. And it's just great when you hear the young people saying, through these struggles, still having people that's behind them and believing them. Jordan, what about you? What kind of
I
support you
mean,
had?
I had a lot of support, but I gotta say what motivated me the most though was really, mine take on a little deeper meaning for me. Like it's just the historical factor, because just knowing that my ancestors, just to learn how to read, they was sitting up there, they got beat, and all that. So it was like me knowing that and being conscious of that, it was like I'm not doing my part right now. And so it's like I just I took it as a challenge, like, nah, I'm about to, whatever y'all got for me, I'm going to take that, but I'm still going to go in search of my own, though. So it was like, yeah, mine was historical, really, like, that made me just lock in and be more motivated than anybody in the class, like, because not like that. I'm not trying to tell on nobody, but now they used to be up in class trying to look all on my paper, and I'm like, nah, this not. I'm not in middle school. I'm not in high school. Like you got to go do your own work. Like I'm not about to. You're not about to just climb on my back. Like nah, I can't do that. But people will look at you like, oh, like get out of here. But hey, it is what it is. Like I'm here to learn. You feel me? I'm not trying to gain friends and all. It's cool, the friendship and all that. But we in a place of learning, and so that's what I was trying to do. But that was really my motivation, to historical factor.
One quick question that I definitely wanted to ask, because going through you all educational journey, it's a very small number of African American teachers and folks, professors who look like you. During those processes, going through the year, how difficult or did you feel like, if you had an African American professor or teacher or throughout your program that made your transition smoother? How apparent is that to you all? Because I hear these statistics and people talk about the more black educators that we have, black kids to sell more. Do you all feel like that's a true statement, or do you feel like you learned just as much from white or other different race teachers that helped y'all through your educational journey?
Good question.
Go ahead, Sarai.
Well, I feel like you're always gonna have a connection with somebody who look like you, and you're gonna be able to connect with them on a different level rather than somebody that doesn't look like you. I think they kind of understand you more. For example, like at my school, there's not really much like black faculty, but we do have a center that has like black people who can help you and support you. So it's called like Majis, and they got like different people of color in there adding extra support for kids of color. And I think that kind of made my experience at SI with being at a majority white school. Like, you know, that was like my family. We always went, everybody always went there to chill. We went there after school. We went there. It was our place, like, you know, where we felt comfortable and we could really be ourselves there. So I feel like, yes, I agree with that statement that you made.
Anybody else want to jump in there? Nia? Go ahead, Brandon.
I think for me, I respond to a certain kind of teaching style. When it comes to like education and learning, is one thing my dad taught me is that no knowledge is useless knowledge. So I want to learn from every kind of person that I can. Great if you're black, great if you have the same similar experiences to me. I'm all for it. But I can also learn from a dude who has a completely different background from me. I'm like, okay, well, you know, what's his learning process like? What's he been through? And then they talk to me, and then I learn new perspectives, and I can connect with people that have different perspectives besides those who've, you know, been through some of the things that, you know, some of these folks here have been through. So for me, yes, it helps, but is it like a determining factor in terms of, you know, furthering my, like, you know, ability to learn? Not entirely, because, you know, like I said, it just all depends on the teaching style, and that really, it doesn't really have a race. You know, just because you're black don't mean you teach a certain way. You know what I mean? So it's nice, it's great when they have the same background as you, but ultimately for me, it's all dependent on the teaching style. And then I did have, however, a black tutor, and this guy is incredibly smart. His name is Gerald Morgan. He's a what was it? He had a PhD in math, I believe. He helped me through trigonometry and calculus and pre-calc. So having him be black and be that advanced in math, I will admit, made me go, you know what? If I wanted to be a math genius, I could too. So I will say that. And that man helped me throughout all of college. I would not have got through any of those classes. So shout out to Gerald if you ever see this. I would have never made it through any of those math classes without that guy. So I will say that.
Man, phenomenal. What about you, Nia, Terrell?
Honestly, I think that having just somebody the same color as you is actually good to have, because during my school year, there was only one black person. She was the dean, and she vouched for me for everything. But she kept me in check. She kept me in check. She was understandable, like where I'm coming from, and honestly, she made me the person who I am today. Also, well, she helped me make me the person who I am today. Also, I wouldn't probably be in that school still if it wasn't for her.
Oh, what about you, Terrell?
Yeah, I agree, because I went to Mission, which is like a very diverse school when it comes to like the teachers, and like I had a lot of black teachers myself, so it was like it made it more like family oriented with the teachers, like because it was easier to connect, it was easier to learn. But like, yeah, I agree with Brandon said though. You gotta be able to learn from other people, not just your own people.
Yeah, I had to ask that question, but Jordan, if you want to jump in there before I say something, but I did want to put that out there because I hear a lot of that, and I just wanted to hear from y'all. Y'all been in the school the last year. You know, when I grew up, it wasn't a lot of black teachers. I had all white teachers, but you know, I'll be reading these different researches and these statistics about, you know, different parts of the country where black kids feel like they learn more from their black counterparts. So I just want to see what was y'all opinion on it. But Jordan, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, let me just say, I feel exactly the same way as Brandon, wholeheartedly. But it's just like, as far as when you walk into, let's just say you walk into a classroom for the first day, and then you see somebody that look like you, that's gonna make you want to engage. Now, as far as being, black or whatever, or minority, or just a person of color, yeah, it's cool. That's definitely a determining factor of somebody want to be, get that comfortability. But when it comes for me, when it comes to learning, I don't care what you look like, red, blue, yellow. Like, I just like information. So me liking information and going in search of that information, if you got it, then I mean, I'm all for it.
Definitely, definitely. Tony, go ahead. Tony, jump in there.
Wow. This is amazing right now, y'all. So look, what I want to know is, how did you keep your mental together? And what kind of what steps?
Oh, your mic muted, Tony.
Sorry, y'all. My question was, how did you keep your mental together, your mental health? There was a lot of stamina that people were going through mental health situations during the pandemic. What did you do to keep your mental health in place?
I'll take that one. Me myself personally, I went farther inside, because I can't, like, some of my thoughts is kind of wild. So it's like, and they just run sometimes. I don't know if everybody, feel like that, but my thoughts be running rampant sometimes. So it just be like, I gotta look within. And so I be trying to, as far as my spirituality, like I really delved into that because, you can't really know somebody's intentions when you talking to them. Like, you don't know, you probably giving, probably bearing your soul, and they probably sitting up here, they mind is like, oh, what? Like, ooh, ooh, probably saying something that you probably wouldn't like if they said it out loud. So it was like I look farther in, I talk to my family, my brothers, my sister, my mom. Like they was really like integral and keeping me grounded and keeping me, faith based and all that. So I really was just doing. I was more going inside myself than going to talk to the people that's around me or my teachers. It was more family for me.
So Jordan, let me go deeper into that. So when this was happening, did you know you was feeling like this, or did your family around you, did they notice that you were feeling more down?
I mean, it's a mixture of both. Like, because your family know you,
Mm-hmm.
while you going through stuff. So it was like I could probably get just something as subtle as me looking down or something, because they know I like that eye contact. So if I just look down from there, they'd be like, "What's going on?" And
Mm-hmm.
then that's how the conversation would get started. But other than that, if I got something that's bothering me, like, I don't suffer in silence. If it's something that's bothering me, hey, when you get a minute, can I holler at you?
Yeah.
Like, I'm one of them. Like, I'm not sick or mentally or physically. Like, I will, hey, let me holler at you. Let me, because I know that's all it'll take. People don't know what you're going through unless you say something. And so it's like, once I learned that, it's like, and then people always be like, yeah, if you got a problem, say something. So I'm gonna say something. If that's really, if the door is really open for me to, have a conversation with you, then that's what I'm gonna do. Me myself personally.
Thank you, Jay. What about you, Nia?
Honestly, all my siblings came home during COVID, so I would be able to talk to them. They kept me motivated. They kept me going. Like, we worked out together at one point. Just we all stuck in the house. So what more can we do? Be surrounded by family. So yeah.
And the same question for you, Nia. Did your family recognize when you were going into this mental state, or you were acting different or anything, or did you approach them about how you were feeling?
I don't think I really went into a mental state. I mean, I would complain to them like, I'm tired of being stuck in the house. I'm tired of this and that. But I don't think I really like had any issues. Like TikTok, I was just on TikTok most of the time. Like, that made me laugh. That made me happy. There's something I like to do. And yeah.
What about you, Shai? You dealt with any anxieties, any depressions during the school year or during the COVID period?
Um, yes, I have. During COVID, like the pandemic, it was like a little hard for me because I was dealing with like back to back deaths in my family. So that kind of put like a strong, like, I went into like this, I don't know, I don't want to call it depression, but like it was like breaking me down. And it kind of took like extra strength for me to like keep going. And I guess you can say like them, like I have family support, school support, making sure that I like took breathers and knew when I needed to like calm down, you know? Um, just being involved, like when COVID started, I didn't stop doing what I was doing. So like, yes, we did still have like practice. Like I was on a dance team. We still had practice over Zoom. I still participated in that. We still had BSU meetings. We still participated in that. I just wanted to like keep myself involved as possible and still busy so that I don't really fall into those deep depression thoughts. But I'm not gonna lie and sit up here and act like I wasn't going through things, because I was.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of took that extra support to really keep me going. So yeah.
Wow, deep. What about you, Brandon?
There are various issues that just simply weren't addressed. These issues, while they can be small, if left not addressed for a long time, can turn into big issues. I'm not going to explicitly talk about what they were, but we'll just say that at some point, you have a little bit of a blow up, and then it's out in the open, and then it's like, all right, well, what are we going to do? So it was just me, my family. We had to have an honest and frank discussion, especially me and my brother. Our relationship wasn't the best at that point. And being COVID, we were around each other a lot more, so we kind of got sick of each other really fast. So we had to really, it got to the point where we were going to come to blows. Yeah, no, we were going to, we were going to fight. So we just sat down and we honestly had a discussion about some things in the past, and I explained to him, "Hey, this isn't what you thought. This is what was actually happening. I just made it look like this, so I didn't look as bad in front of you." You know what I mean? So, and then we talked about what's going on in the present. Like, hey, this is what I don't appreciate that you do. Could you please not do this, and could you do more of this? I'm like, all right, yeah, I don't appreciate you doing this. Could you stop doing that and do this? So we just had that, and then I had a discussion with Jehovah God and things I need to prove in terms of my spirituality. I read the Bible daily, and I had to take an honest look within myself. You got to really the scriptures. They're like a mirror. It helps reflect over what you really need to work on. So I took the time and I prayed, like, show me what I really have to work on. Show me, let me be completely honest with myself. And then I was able to do that as well. And then yeah, that really helped out a lot. I have to say this pandemic really helped me to see like some serious deep rooted issues that I had and things I wasn't letting go, and let most of that stuff go. And still dealing with obviously some things. Some things are a lot harder to get rid of than others, but you just keep going. Those are the main things I did to help myself. And then I'm a dancer. I play video games. I play sports. I write poems. I was actually working on a manga actually with some friends of mine. I'm still going to work on that. It's called the Chronicles of Fluffago. It's a planet that I basically created, but that's a different story for a different day. So I had a bunch of different things I was doing to try to help deal with it, but ultimately I had to really sit down and take an honest look and be truthful with myself and with my family over what I wanted and where I am at and what I'm trying to do.
Man, that's growth. It takes a lot. What about you, Terrell?
For me, I really didn't deal with no like mental health problems. I kind of like I used the pandemic as a way to like figure out what I needed to work on. Like I tried to I hit a lot of football camps to perfect my craft to see where I was at. And then all through the pandemic, I was just trying to get better at everything. I never like took it as like, oh, I'm finna stop. I didn't never stop nothing. I just kept going, kept trying to get better, trying to progress all through the pandemic.
So how was your mental state when she passed away? I mean, did you feel like you was going through a minor depression? I mean, I know a lot of young folks are
Yeah,
definitely sad. I mean, how did you go through that?
yeah, that hurt, but like that's that's when I started talking to all my coaches and stuff. They was telling me like I gotta do it for him now, everything for him now. It was like it hurt though. I'm not gonna lie, it stopped. It stopped, but it didn't really stop me.
Definitely, most definitely. So, one of the questions that I want to ask, and I think that was beautiful how you all articulated, dealing with anxiety, dealing with your mental health. My biggest question is, as young folks, do you all feel that schools today have the right resources? Do y'all have enough mental health counselors in the school? Do you have enough uh, um resources when it comes to grievance counseling and things of that nature? Because one of the things that we find, and especially in the Black community where there's schools that mostly are served by Black youth, those type of services are not available. But when death and things happening, and the white community or in other communities, they seem to have more access to resources. Going through this COVID time, not only with mental health, do you feel like your school was equipped with all of the resources that you all needed to get through the year, whether it was mental health or just big brother mentorship or whatever? Do you feel like your school had those resources in place for you?
Go ahead, Nia. You smiling.
I don't think so. Not necessarily for my school. It was just like really like they only came to you like if you were in trouble or something, like, oh, if like they wanted to know why are you doing this and that. They never really ask you like, are you okay? They don't bring you in just for like just out of nowhere. They just bring you in like if you get in trouble, or just like unless you go to them. But I didn't really feel comfortable to my counselors to like go to them. I rather just like talk to family members or like probably one of my friends and just talk to them because I didn't really feel comfortable with them.
I'll jump
Anybody
in
else?
there. Yeah, no, I've never felt comfortable going to somebody like that's a authority figure or whatever the case may be, because I just felt like they not gonna know what I'm going through. Like, and of course, they dealing with bills and probably they kids and this and that. So it's like I just never felt comfortable. I'd rather go to one of my peers, and I feel a little more safer, going to talk to them because they in pretty much in the same position I am. So it's like, I look more towards my peers. I never really felt comfortable going to, a counselor or a teacher, because at the end of the day, like they have a you got a time limit on how long you can talk to them for, basically, because now they got a class to go teach. So it's like, are they really paying attention to me? Like, are they really getting a sense of who I am and what I'm going through? Like, because that it's a lot. When somebody really trying to, you gotta have that trust. Trust, you gonna hear that a lot from me, I guess, but you gotta build that trust with somebody to where you can really have a conversation with them, a candid conversation with them, to get whatever it is off your chest or off your mind. And so it's like, if you don't have that trust, if you haven't built that trust, nobody's gonna. Well, in my view, I don't feel as if like somebody's gonna voluntarily, go and try to explain the problem. Just like Mia said, like it's like, I didn't feel comfortable because of certain reasons. So yeah, nah, I definitely, I never felt comfortable.
Mhm. What about you, Sarar?
I did have um adults at my so for my school we had like a counseling center on one floor, and every kid gets their own like personal counselor, and then they have a college counselor. You can go to either for support, but typically I went to my counselor because he was black, and I had this other like relationship that he had with my family already. So and then also I had a trusted adult on campus who I've always went to, like that I made a connection with freshman year, and she kind of stick with me throughout those 4 years. She was the one I always went to when I needed help with like homework or something, and she helped me like outside of school support and on campus. And then also, as I mentioned before, that we had like the group where it was called Majis, and they have adults in there that you could go to and talk to. And it just feels like you're talking to someone. I mean, I guess you could just say it's just comfortable to talk to them. You know who to talk to for what problems you go to, who you want to go to for whatever problems. I just feel like it's up to you to establish that trust with them on whatever personal level you have with, which can make whatever you're going through better in ways, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's dope. What about you, Brandon?
Well, I mean, I graduated high school about like 4 or 5 years ago. I can tell you this: the high school that I went to, they had none of that. And if they did have it, wasn't for none of the black kids. I can promise you, because we had some hoodlums at that school. So basically, they kind of assumed all of us were like that. I was probably one of the only ones who were like, "Oh yeah, he's normal. We might help you out." But other than that, nah, they kind of just put labels on kids. And I could tell they were worn out, because a lot of the people that actually tried to help kids, they either got fired or they left. You already know how that go. And the ones who like kind of just stamp and do the check thing, like Jordan said, got to stay. The only kids that I seen get help when I was in high school was more like the Asian or white kids they thought would go far. So, but in college that does change. I will say that I did have counseling when I went to City College of San Francisco, and the counseling was, I'll say, good quality. I'd say the guy, I could tell he knew what he was doing and that he cared. But yeah, I'm like Jordan. I'd rather just do my peers, because I know some peers I have been through a lot, and they made it out pretty well. So I've definitely talked to them. I trust them a lot more. I know they have my back. Like, these are the kind of people like you die for, in my opinion. I die for them, they die for me. So I've always had that in my life. However, for those who don't, especially I feel like K through 12, it's really difficult to find adults who you can trust, especially in areas with schools like public schools that have lower budgets, that aren't private. It's almost impossible, because like I said, they kind of just write you off as like, all right, yeah, whatever, these kids, they go, parents sell drugs, get shot, whatever, yada yada. I've already heard it all before, I'm good. I've seen that a lot of times. And it's really sad. And like I said, for the professionals who do care, they don't get paid enough, and they got to quit because they can't pay their bills. So it's sad to see from my experience. Now, maybe it's changed in the past 4 or 5 years, but when I graduated high school, it was not it at all, not even a little. So I'm hoping and praying that maybe there was some improvement, but I don't know.
So, Brandon, since you just graduated out of SF State, how much support is there? I know they got African American Studies there. I know they got a lot of different support with the BSU. It's a couple folks over there that I know. But how was that transition? Do you feel like you get a little bit more when you went to SF State versus high school? Like, did you feel like wow, finally I got some understanding, or was it still the same?
Oh, actually, there are so many different support lanes. I had to like choose which one that I felt like I wanted, because I was in this program called Health Promotion and Wellness, and they basically did like weekly sessions. They had tea sessions. I'm gonna be honest, them tea sessions are different. I know you're probably like, you be drinking tea. I'm like, nah. First of all, that tea be good. Second of all, it really does allow you to like just detox and relax. So I encourage all of you, try it at least once. Just have tea with your friends. I guarantee you, don't drink no alcohol, no soda, no lemonade, orange juice. Just sit down and have tea with your friends. I promise you, it works. Anyway, and if you don't, you can at me on Instagram and be like, hey, this is a load of blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you know what? You didn't probably do it right. But anyway, so yeah, they had that. And then there was a lot of BSU programs, definitely, for sure. I definitely knew about, there were also some black oriented, what was it? What is it? Wow, let's see. What, sororities? Yeah, sororities and fraternities. There were some black oriented ones as well. And then there were like black business programs. They had weekly meetings. They'd email me. I didn't go, obviously, because, well, I got, some pretty smart people in my family. So what do I need to go that for? So basically they have those as well. And then yeah, there was a lot of support lanes, and I was kind of overwhelmed too when I came in, because I'm like, they didn't have this when I went to high school. This is, whoa, all right, there's a lot to choose from. So yeah, it definitely is better. Could it be improved? Yes, but it definitely is a lot better. So if you do go to college, it's all about finding it and then sticking with it, and then finding all the people there to help support. So yeah, definitely it's definitely a much improved in college.
Brandon, you got the community going nuts. You see the comments on the screen.
No, I saw it when
you
said
woke, man. Yeah, you woke. That's the extra emphasis nowadays. When you say it twice, that's the extra emphasis. That's the added emphasis. So you woke. I salute.
No, but I definitely, appreciate all of you perspective, but definitely Brandon, hitting it on these different topics because I think that exposure for young Black youth is so needed, whether it's joining a T group or meditation. I mean, there's so many things that our community doesn't get access to or information to. And again, kudos to you and the rest of you young folks on here that are able to keep an open mind to learn different things. Because sometimes, as young Black folks in our community, sometimes we get knocked for that. Like, oh man, we don't do that. We from the hood, or that ain't what Black folks do, right? And we miss out sometimes on a lot of opportunity, especially when we talk about mental health, when we talk about the educational realm. I just really appreciate you highlighting that, and Shirai too, talking about the programs that you had at SI, because I think, our young people sometimes, like, when we had those opportunities, people are like, oh, this is not cool. Like, and it actually could be something that's beneficial. I always used to laugh because when I was younger in school, book clubs was like a thing that was going on, and I didn't really like it. I was like, well, book clubs, whatever. But then as I got older, like the adult books clubs was like cracking, like they food, they drinking, they having a good time. They talking about them like, dang, why I didn't do this when I was in high school. So it's just cool to see that, one, that you all are open and learning new things. And I'm hoping that through this conversation, we got a lot of people watching today, a lot of parents with their young folks watching, the next generation of young folks. This is very important. And I'm just glad that you highlighted. And yes, Brandon's my cousin, so y'all can see the definite intelligent, funny, that charisma that we bring. This is why y'all laugh at me all the time. This is how he is in our family. But definitely proud of Brandon, and just highlighting that different stuff, especially for Nia and Terrell that's going to college. Join the Tea Club, okay? Have some tea for detox. But with that being said, I want to jump back into a little bit, because I got some other stuff that I want to talk about. But I want to jump back to what Jordan was talking about the young folk, you all not being able to connect really with the elders. And this is a big conversation that we're trying to bring here to this platform and to the community, right? Because I hear this so much. There's a big disconnect between young people and elders of the community. And I really want to hear from you all, because I've been like pushing this, fighting this. I be going in on some of the elders and they get mad at me, but I'm really in favor of a lot of you young folks. And I heard Jordan say, typically I try to listen to people who like me because of we're in the same age or the same understanding. But I also want to get that understanding of, like, for you young folks that have trouble, whether it's your parents, whether it's family members, whether it's elders of the community, whether it's community leaders. What is that disconnect? Is it that the elders are not listening to y'all? Is that they trying to tell you what to do? Why is it such a big disconnect with our young generation and our elders?
For me, it's just like when people talk, they be like, oh, back in my day, I used to do this, this, and that. They want you to do everything kind of how they did it back in their day, but like now it's the new generation. It's not the same thing. So I rather connect with people younger than me or like in their 20s when it comes to adults. So that's just me. Yeah.
So Nia, would you say, is it more of a respect thing? I hear you saying like they just want to push their agenda on you. So is it just like young people, y'all feel like I would prefer the elders of the community would show us that same level of respect, even though they grew up in a different time? But do you feel like the elders are not open to your young growth? Is that more of like where you holding in at?
I don't think it's really I don't know. It's not really respect, but like, yeah, they're not open to like what we do. And it's just like you got to put up a whole nother person when it comes to another older person, because they're kind of very judgmental. And it's just like, well, this is my generation. I get where you coming from. I don't think they get where we're coming from.
Right. That's well put. What about you, Terrell?
I say that all depend on like how you grew up and the household you grew up in. Cause I take everything my elders say. Like I take everything. But a lot of the times I feel like it got to do with, like she said, like they don't realize like it's different nowadays. It's not the old days. You know what I'm saying? Like everything different. So we're growing up in a different time. Y'all gotta adapt to what we doing. And y'all trying to tell us what we doing is wrong. Basically. Yeah.
So how do we create that dialogue? I mean, because I'm always looking for innovative ways, right? Because I have a lot of elders in the community that say, John, I want to understand the young people. I want to be involved, but a lot of the young people are not open to walking us through this. In your perspective, Terrell, like how do we connect them, right? Like I know y'all want some of the elders to kind of understand y'all rap music, the hip music or whatever. How do we do that? How do we bring those two together?
I think they just gotta be more open minded, like to hear out what we got to say, instead of looking at us like, oh, they young, they don't know what they talking about. Nah, that's not what it is.
Right.
Okay.
Brandon, what
If I
about
can jump
go,
in on
go ahead,
that,
Jordan? Go ahead, Jordan.
Oh, go ahead.
like I believe that bridging the gap got something to do with everybody learning, like learning about the old and the old, the elders learning, from the youngsters, because for the simple fact you gotta realize you can't reinvent the wheel. You feel me? But the elders, they know stuff. They haven't made it that age, by being fools or nothing. You feel me? But then at the same time, when it comes to the youth of today, like technology is everything. So you can bridge that gap just through the technology, because at the end of the day, like I have some elder parents. I have you know older people in my life, and they still trying to figure out this technology thing. So it's like, okay, who you gonna ask for that? You have to ask the people that use the technology every day. Like Mia said, like when she was going through what she was going through to stay out of that funk and to stay out of that depression or whatever. Like she used TikTok. You know what I'm saying? TikTok it has pretty much anything you want, anything you looking for is on there. So it's like people look for something to be happy. We can do that, but at the end of the day, it's like the youngsters got to know that you can look towards, even though they be saying, because mind you, I hear it all the time too. Yeah, back in my day. But it's like, back in their day, they went through some stuff that we don't know nothing about. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can probably hear some stuff, and then we'll probably be like, because don't get me wrong, the history factor, that's big, that's major. You feel me? But because it's some things that's going on today that's that's only possible because of the stuff that happened in the past. You get what I'm saying? So it's like without the past, which is something that you should, in my opinion, go in search of. I think that'll bridge the gap alone. Like that, it's a respect thing also. You feel me? Because don't get me wrong, I've definitely had some conversations where people was like they don't feel that they gotta respect youngsters, and I'm like, how? Like how can you not respect what they got going? They having a life too, and they going through stuff also. But now you just older, so it's like you think they don't deserve respect. And I'm like, it's so in a sense, it's a respect thing on both ends, in my opinion.
Definitely.
So
Go ahead, Brandon.
So this is what I. So this is a problem. Well, not even a problem. This is something that I encounter in my, my congregation. So basically, we call it a congregation as witnesses, and we have huge age differences. We're talking like we got people in their 70s and 80s, and we got people as young as like 12, 13, 14. The important thing for me that I have found is to try to find things that connect that haven't really changed all that much. Communication hasn't changed. How people work hasn't really changed. Politics, all that stuff, it hasn't really changed. The only thing that's changed is how fast we can communicate, how much more we know about the world around us, and what we can do. But other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. You just dress it up a little differently. You just got new clothes on now. Hate speech is simply just turned into, a bunch of idiots on TikTok talking about stuff they don't know about. They've been doing that for a long time. They've been doing that for thousands of years. People have been talking about stuff they know nothing about. People have been oppressing people for a long time now. So it's about finding things to connect and finding things that you can help them to understand. Like you can use illustrations or examples of certain things. It's like, I'll give you a prime example. If you want to explain to somebody about instant message, You can like basically be like, they got the old school Superman. I'm like, so basically imagine that that's just flying as fast as possible to somebody else's phone. And that message just travels through. You can use that was stupid, but I'm just giving examples like how you can try to like illustrate things, make it easier to understand. That's one. Two, it definitely is a respect thing. I get it. Older folks have been through a lot more. They have a lot more life experience. They've seen more things. However, the way the things are done has changed. What's happening hasn't changed. It's still the same end result, but how you get the end result has changed. So if you explain to them the different ways that you get the end results that they used to get, like for example, like I said, messages. The way they used to get messages, you write a letter, you put a post-it on it, and you send it, and then basically, bam, you get your letter in the mail. The way we do it, it's through electronic waves. You type, and it instantaneously goes through. So basically, you just got to tell them it's a much, much faster way of traveling mail. Different things like that. And then when it comes to rap music, you have to get them to realize that. Now, what I'm about to say might piss some people off. What I'm about to say is going to piss some folks off. And I'm just going to tell you now. But in terms of like morals and stuff like that, they kind of gotten a little lower in terms of what people will allow themselves to listen to. People want to be free to say and do whatever they want. Back then, you had to hold your tongue on certain topics. Now that's both good and bad. You're holding yourself back, not allowing people to show and do certain things. That has its benefits. You don't have to worry about explicit content. You don't have to worry about cursing, swearing, all that. Someone showing some obscene, bam, you're good. But it also doesn't allow people to express their true opinions, be honest about how they feel, and to be able to move forward. Now, with allowing people to do whatever the hell they want, now you got people doing too damn much, people saying too much, and people not having any filters, and people having what I call Twitter fingers. They're so used to talking crap to people and not getting knocked out for it that they say anything and they're crazy. So you got to explain to them how the disadvantages and the communication things have changed. You see how I'm making y'all laugh now? Make it into a joke. So you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, different things like that. So just making it fun too. If you don't make it like a strenuous experience of, I gotta explain this to them, they ain't gonna get it, they probably stupid. Make it more of a, all right, what's a fun way that I can get this person to understand where I'm coming from? And it ain't gonna be perfect. Sometimes it's just sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It is what it is. You got to move on from those folks. So they need somebody else to tell them that's different from you. But if you keep trying and you keep working on it, it will go through at some point. So I do see that there is a disconnect, and I do see that, sometimes these old heads, forgive me if you feel offended by me saying that, some of these old heads don't want to listen, and some of these young people also don't want to listen. We have to keep that in mind too. So it's about basically just finding different ways to get people. Why aren't you listening? Why don't you want to hear what they have to say? Okay, what can we do about that? What can we say? Can I present it in this way? Would this be easier? Hell, even do a PowerPoint. Some people learn to just do a PowerPoint. Be like, all right, this is the history of communication. This is where we were at. This is where we are now. This is how we got here. You just gotta trial and error, man. There's no right way to communicate things to people, and there's no right way to connect. You just gotta keep trying and trying until something sticks or something works. It takes a lot of patience.
I think that was
Brandon, you got a new follower in me, man. You got a new follower in me, man. I'll be look for J2O the Don. I will be following you today after this.
No, listen, I think that's a good point. I mean, one of the frustrations is, and I hear it, we have to figure out a way, too many times in our community, especially in the spiritual realm, our churches, our leaders, too many times these folks are dying away with all of this information, right? And our young folks are trying to keep up. And I'll be telling the older folks that too. Like, sometimes y'all do have wisdom, guidance, and information that's very powerful to our young folks. But because of egos, because of power, because of control, a lot of times we hold on to this stuff. And a lot of times our elders in the community, they don't want to pass the torch to the young folks because they're afraid. And I'd be like, what are you afraid of? Like, when you started, you didn't know which way things were going to go. And I think sometimes we have a higher expectation on young folks to be so polished and perfect that we lose focus on the opportunity to help teach and build up the next generation of young folks. And I think in the Black community especially, it is a detriment to us. And that's why we are always behind the 8 ball, where other communities are faster to pass off the information, generational knowledge, generational wealth, generational information, and they excel on us. And a lot of time we get frustrated, and a lot of it has to do with our self egos and our self things that folks deal with in the community. So Tony, you want to jump in here with another question before I go? Because I feel like I've been asking all of the questions. But go ahead, Tony, jump in there.
I think one of the biggest questions that I would like to hear from the youth today is, what advice can you give to other youth that's in their shoes that you're in, the shoes that you were in, to keep some inspirational words to keep them going?
If I may say something, I know I've talked a lot, but if I may say a few couple words, I'll keep it brief. Stay focused. I know it sounds real simple, but it's not. It's complicated. You gotta be with like-minded individuals who want the same thing that you do. Don't be friends with people who party every weekend and who's like, oh, my parents will just pay for me. It's okay. I don't gotta really do this. I'm here for fun. Listen to what people have to say. Stay focused on what your goal is. Keep the goal that you have in front of you, and remember to do things to get towards that. Because you want to be moving forward. You don't want to go in reverse, or you don't want having someone completely stop you. Because I've seen that a lot of times. At first people have good goals when they go into college, and then they kind of fall off because they get in with the wrong crowd. Bad association spoils useful habits. That's the scripture of the Bible. So yeah, and that's number one. Number two, get help. I know everyone wants to make it sound, sometimes people make it sound like I did it all by myself. No, you didn't. You need some level of support. You need different perspectives and viewpoints. You need to go find people. You need to go search. Help is not going to come to you. You got to go to help. And then when you find the help, you grab onto it and you hold on to it. And you don't let it go. And you show love to the people who help you. That too. It's a big one. Especially teachers. Show love to teachers. Show interest in teachers. Just say hi to the teacher. If you say hi to the teacher and how is your day going, you might get you're teetering on an F or a D, but then they gonna bump that up. It's happened to me. I should have got a B in the class, but my teacher gave me an A because I was one of the most engaging, nicest, best students she had. It happens. And then number three, this is the biggest and final one, in my personal opinion, and that is don't get so caught up in trying to do what everyone else wants you to do. Because if you do that, you're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. You're going to hate yourself and the people around you, and you're not going to feel fulfilled. So it's important that, yes, chasing your dreams, in my opinion, is a little bit of a load of crap, but it's also not. There's something called side hustles. Okay. Now, if you can make it big and whatever the heck you try to do, like you try to be an artist or whatever, be my guest. Do that. But if you can't, find something that you don't mind doing that gets you all your basic needs, your rent paid, and everything. Like me right now, I do pest control. Do I love pest control? I like it, but I don't love it. But I have my side pursuits I have my Twitch channel where I play my games. I'm gonna have a podcast pretty soon where I talk about sports and football. And then I'm gonna do that on the side. Now, if I make it big in that, I can leave pest control, go pursue my dream. But if I don't, I still got that job that keeps me stable and that I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. So find something you like. That's the three things I have to say.
Man, powerful, powerful stuff. And they talk about our young people don't know nothing. Brandon, you've been definitely a star today on that one. Jordan, go ahead, Jordan. I see you trying to jump in there.
Hey man, I just say because I seen something on Instagram today, and it basically said something to the effect of you gotta start hanging with the people that you see in your future and not your past.
Mm.
And so with that said a lot to me because I have dealt with a lot of people that I shouldn't be dealing with. Why? Because that's the stuff that I did in my past. Those are some of the things and the thoughts that I used to have in my past. Now the people in my future, those are the ones that I'm willing to invest my time and my mental space to them. So I just tell them, man, just keep your eyes on where you're going, and keep your blinders on, so you can stay focused. So that's what I say.
Man, Nia.
Balance your life. Like just like what happened?
We still can see you. We still can see you.
just balance your life. Stay focused on schoolwork, doing whatever you want to do in life. But then you could also have another side to, like, if you want to go to parties, just make sure you have everything right on the other end before you want to have fun.
Definitely. Terrell, what you got, brother? What's some good advice you can give to some of the young brothers watching?
I say, keep a tunnel vision. Really, like, lock in on what you want to do. Figure out what it is you want to do, and like try your best to get better at it every day. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, you could take your breaks, do what you gotta do, but like that's your main goal.
Man, that's definitely deep. Tony, you got any more questions?
I appreciate you guys for being vulnerable and open and just very transparent about what you want and what you believe and what you've been through. I know some adults that don't even open up like this. So I know that somebody is watching, somebody is hearing, and I know that it resonated in their spirit. So thank you, young people, and I wish you nothing but love and joy and peace and all of those good things for your future. And Brandon and Jordan, y'all was getting it today, okay? All of you guys did a good job, but I really enjoyed you guys.
So one of the last questions that I have, because I definitely want to let y'all get back to y'all day. We appreciate y'all giving y'all time. We also, salute and uplift you. Too many times our young folks graduate, they excel, they do things that really change our community, change the paradigm, the lives, and they don't get acknowledged. And that's one thing we wanted to do. So definitely we want to thank our mayor. We want to thank Mayor London Bree. We want to thank the board president, Shaman Walton, and the Human Rights Commission Director, Dr. Davis, for creating the Dream Keeper Initiative. This initiative is so powerful. And, what they're doing to impact community and young folks and elders of the community, and just holistically how we do things and move things. And today, you guys are going to be getting blessed with the gift from them, the support. Again, we're going to continue to keep trying to change that narrative. But what I want to hear from you all before we let you go, just want to talk about the excitement and what you all felt leading up to graduation, as you made your success, as you made that transition. How did your family react? How did y'all feel? And how do you feel moving forward in the goals and the obstacles that you're looking for? Did this make you better prepared for life obstacles or college obstacles or, different things? Or how did it make y'all feel? So just want to hear from y'all so community can know what that countdown was like when you knew you crossing that stage, you going to the next part of your life.
I'd like to start. So one of the first things I thought when I graduated college is, yippee, bills. That's the first thing that crossed my mind. I'm like, all right, well, I gotta buy all my own food and pay my own bills, and yeah, this is gonna be great. Get my own place. Yeah, so that was what the first thoughts that came to my mind. When I was close to the finish line, I'm like, ah, oh, thank the Lord, I'm done. Like I said, I don't like sitting down and studying crap. I don't. My attention span's too short, so it's like I'm glad this is over. But then I also reflected on all the things that I learned. I'm like, this was a fun experience, but I need to get the heck out of here. It was very fun. I appreciate everything that I had, but I'm gone. I'm gone. And as soon as I graduate, it's like now just focused on getting my financials straight. Staying away from women. As funny as that sounds, like I've realized that they don't help you get richer. I'll just say that. So I'm just making sure focused on getting my financials straight, getting my place straight, buying my own car. I got those goals. I got spiritual goals as well. I plan on doing more preaching in the future. I also have goals in terms of like dancing. I want to enter more competition. So I'm just focusing on doing the things that I really want to do, traveling, make sure I don't really have any regrets or anything like that. So I just want to keep going with that as well. And I also just want to make sure that, I keep those who have been helping me from the beginning. I keep pulling those folks with me, keep supporting them, keep being close. Like my mom and my dad, they've been huge. They've spent, I'm not joking, millions on me for me to get to this point. So I gotta pay them back in whatever way I can. My grandmother, she's taken so much time with me, and then my brother, although we've had our problems, that's my bro. Like at the end of the day, everybody mess with them. They can come see me. You know what I mean? Like is we're tight. We always have been, even though we've had problems, we always will be. So keeping those folks close to me, remember who helped me, all the other countless people I can mention, but they'll be on here for like another hour or two. So just keep in focus, keep on growing, looking for opportunities, just getting better at my craft at work. These roaches ain't gonna kill themselves, neither these bed bugs either. So gotta work on doing that more efficiently. Different stuff like that. So that's ultimately what I'm trying to do. Just focus and keep going forward and stay away from women for now, anyways.
Oh my God, Brandon, I'm getting 1,000 messages. The community has asked me to bring you on as a co-host. You bring energy to the platform. All right, all right, Jordan, go ahead. Jordan, tell me what that experience with you.
All I can say is, Brandon, boy, you crazy, but I love it. But yeah, I mean, for me, it was just strictly, I'm done with this part of my life. Now it's on to the next journey. What else can I learn? And just looking towards that future and just trying to make the best decisions, which in my opinion, you don't always make. But if you got the right people around you, they gonna make sure um that you stay on track, or they gonna try to stay in touch with you to where you can, if you do get off track, they'll be like, hey, like you gotta have them type of people in your life, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, hey, you not is you about to get back focused? Like what you doing? All right, yeah, that's cool, but come back over here. Like you gotta have people around us. So I got that. I got my siblings, my two brothers, my little sister. I got my parents. I got a host of people, that know what I've been through and just want to see me do good. So, but it was definitely just trying to stay focused, and I'm done with that part. On to the next one.
Man, powerful stuff. Terrell, what about you?
Um, yeah, like I was really just ready to walk that stage, really get it over with. Like I'm really ready to see what the college experience gonna be like. That's really what mainly was going through my head. I'm ready to be in college.
That's what's up. What's up, Nia? What about you? You got to unmute yourself.
Like Terrell said, I'm ready to be in college, but also I just want to be like individual, learn how to be individual, living away from my parents, just learning that life. I hear all my siblings, they already either graduated from college and are or in college, and I'm just ready to like basically see what they going through, see what they talking about, cuz I hear some of my siblings like I don't like this. I want to go back to being a kid. Like I just want to see adult life and see if I like it or not.
You ain't gonna like it. You got a lot of bills and a lot of responsibility. You ain't gonna like it. Don't grow up too fast. Don't rush it. That's the biggest advice I could give you. And if you want to trade places, we could trade places right now.
Oh, I'm gonna tell. I gotta talk to your mom. Look, she like, I'm ready to get rid of it. I gotta go. I gotta go. Hey, but for all of you, and I think Sarai got kicked off. I was trying to get Sarai before she got kicked off, but definitely, um, you know, it's a big journey. It's a big footsteps. You guys are the future. Your brilliance, your excellence, the work that you all do moving forward is really going to move the culture, move the communities forward. Our elders, our ancestors are depending on you all to step up and do the things that you all need to do to move us forward. We're going to continue to do our part to make sure that our elders and our young folks have a space where they could come together and talk about these issues that impact the community. We have to kill these wars, these elder youth wars, these gender wars. We got a lot of things in our community that we're going to have to fight to move us forward, to hold us in space. And it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of commitment from everybody. The elders of the community is going to have to humble themselves. As you heard the young folk today say, you have to listen, you have to be open. And for our young folk, they have to be open as well. And they're willing to find different ways to help the message, the communication come together so that we all can be successful to move forward. It is a time that we need to pass the baton to our young folks, give them the presence, give them the space, give them the opportunity to voice their opinions. We know the processes and the historic things that our elders have went through. This young generation, they are motivated, they are vibrant, They are looking for different alternatives to get different results. Some of them don't believe in marching. Some of them don't believe in doing some of the traditional things that our elders have went through. They have new ways, new perspective of getting their voices heard and moving our community forward. And we have to find space together to put those ideals together and humbly respect each other to move us forward. And we're going to continue to do that here. We're going to start our part at both sides of the conversation by having these youth conversations, giving our youth an opportunity to talk about things that impact them so that elders in our community can hear what the minds of our young folks are thinking and what support that they need and how do we get behind them and support them, because they're going to need the support. So with all the elders, the wisdom, the influence, the financial support, the things that they have accrued, we're going to have to find a way to put that back to our young generations, because we don't want our young folks to be confused trying to figure out how to move forward. We don't want our elders to just pass away with all the information, the knowledge, the connections, the network, and leave our young people and just say, hey, y'all figured it out. We had to figure it out. We don't want to do that. We want to put them in a place where they take the baton and they keep moving the marathon forward. This marathon is going to continue. We are still going to be dealing with the hate, the resistance. We're still going to deal with the disenfranchised. We're going to still deal with the negative stereotypes of our young folks. But as you all heard today, some of the bright minds, some of the young leaders, some of the young up-and-coming folks who are going to transition and pivot themselves in a way that's going to move our community forward. Just honored to have all of you here to celebrate your work in school, watching you all graduate, being able to come here today. Just beautiful. Terrell, looking forward to see you go forward in your football career, man. I'm going to be looking out for those Bulldogs. You know, I got a cousin who played for the Bulldogs and just going to be looking out for that. Nia, you and your journeys for wherever you choose to go and do. Brandon, your personality, your charisma, you know, your thought process, your openness to so many different opportunities. Not only are you my cousin, just as a young man, watching you grow and develop your love for sports, your love for people, your compassion, your humility. Just looking forward to continue to watch your growth. So many blessings, so many things are going to come your way. You know, your spiritual faith, not being afraid, always recognizing Jehovah, always being persistent to your spiritual being is what it's all about. And that's what we need, more young people to be okay, whatever religious beliefs they are, whatever things ground them, whatever things empower them, that we support that we don't knock it and we don't, judge folks about their spiritual belief or their faith or the things that they use to move forward. Just want to say, continue to push forward, young king. You got a lot of things. You are going to make a tremendous impact to the community, the congregation, the young people of our family and beyond. So just stay committed, stay dedicated, and things are going to fall in your place. You got the right mindset. I know a lot of folks out there laugh when they heard you say leave the girls alone. They're like, John Henry, don't be raising no massaging this young cousin of yours. But it's not. It's about being focused, okay? It's about being focused. And when that time comes, and we've always said it, there's always going to be women, there's always going to be men for y'all young folks, young ladies to be in relationships and build families. But this time is you all. I want you all to just take this time and be thankful for the journey that you all been through. Be appreciative of this grind. You get what I'm saying? And get the most out of your college experience. Terrell and Nia, when y'all go there, get the most out of it. Live it. Be responsible. Get your work done. Do the things you need to do. But push forward. Sarai, I see you back on the screen. I know you got cut off. But again, you very powerful young lady. You got a lot of things working in your favor. Take the information at USF that they're going to have some phenomenal folks have came out of USF. And you got opportunities to connect with Derek Brown, different folks up there at USF. And I'll be reaching out to your mom to make sure that you get connected with the right folks. Jada just graduated from USF. She's going to be coming on. But there is people there that is going to connect with you and give you hope, give you inspiration, give you the guidance and information you need. So continue to stay focused, do y'all due diligence, keep grinding. Jordan, phenomenal stuff you're doing. I know your brother, and just keep doing what y'all doing and uplifting each other. And again, stay committed to you. Stay honest and truthful and open to the things that you believe in, and keep marching forward as we, again, here at both sides of the conversation, our goal is to help change that narrative And you all are doing it for our community. So much salute to you all. And thank you all for being here today. And we're going to follow and support you any way that we can. If you guys need anything during your journey, please reach out to us here at Both Sides of the Conversation, and we'll make sure that we do our part as well as connect you with the right resources and folks of the community so that you all make sure that your college experience is fruitful and that you all feel supported. There's a number of community organizations that we are connected with who has resources, who has opportunities, and don't be afraid to reach out to someone when you're going through it, because there are going to be ups and downs through that college journey. But stay focused, stay uplifted, and make sure you stay connected with the folks in the community, your families, and make sure that you reach out so that you can get the resources and information you need. With that being said, community, thank you all for tuning in. I know this has been a great conversation. I've seen the comments. I see the messages. We appreciate you all also being here today to uplift and support our young folks. Before we close out tonight's segment, we're going to do what we always do. We're going to give all of our young folks an opportunity to give the community any last words. If y'all want to give any shout outs to y'all parents, this is the time we do it before we close out every segment. So I just want to pass it around. Shai, if you want to congratulate your parents, any friends, just go ahead and do that now, and we'll just pass it around to everybody before we close out today's segment.
Yes, I want to thank my mom especially for always being there from every step of the way. And I want to just thank all the support that I have. I have a wonderful support team behind me that have always kept me going, has helped me to become the person I am today, and have brought me to a good place. Yeah, just want to thank them. Thank you.
Right. Brandon, you want to go give any shout outs?
Yeah, I want to shout out my mom. I want to shout out my dad, my grandmother, my brother, my dog Bolt. He's awesome. I want to shout out my mom's dog too, Bentley. He's cool. I want to shout out my Bible teacher, Tim Russell. I want to shout out my other friend, best friend, Mario Fortin. I want to shout out my boy, Shai. Shout out to Kasan. He's a Bay Area guy too. Shout out to my cousin, Rayhan. Yeah, shout out to a lot of people, man. Appreciate everybody. And yeah, just keep going, man. Keep progressing. Stay positive, and be the best person that you could be at the end of the day. There'll be nobody else but yourself.
All right. Beautiful said. Terrell, any parting words, any shout outs?
I want to shout out my dad for sure for helping me get through school. I want to shout out Chi Chi for being my motivation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's really it. Shout out my brothers helping me, all that.
Right on. Nia, any shout outs?
I want to shout out to my mom and my dad, my siblings, my aunts and uncles, and just everybody who supported me. And I want to thank y'all for bringing me on this show.
All right, no problem. Jordan.
I gotta say, when it comes to support, I gotta say, I gotta shout out my mom, Patricia Anderson, my pops, Joseph Anderson. My brother Joe Flood. He definitely, been inspiration in my life. My other brother Gerald and my little sister Lisa. But yeah, that's about it.
All right, Miss Tony, you want to leave any parting words or shout out any to you before we go today?
I definitely want to shout out the youth. Thank you so much for blessing the stage with your presence, and I'm just filled with joy right now because I know y'all gonna go out and kill it and be amazing. So thank you for taking the time out on your Sunday to come here and sit with us and help the community. And nothing but love and blessings. And y'all keep ascending. That's my favorite word to say. I don't know if you don't know what that word means. It means to just keep going, to keep rising. There you go. I see you. Yes. See, that's why I love y'all. So that's what I want to give y'all. Nothing but love.
And Tony tried to question the knowledge of our young people. They know what it's
I
in
had to make sure they was paying attention.
Okay.
I know they was.
Hey, well, I just want to say this. One, I want to give a shout out to all of our community partners. All of our folks, our founders, people that support our organization, support the work that we do. Today, we want to give a huge shout out to Mayor London Breed. We want to give a shout out to Board President Shamon Walton. Also want to give a shout out to Director Dr. Davis of the Human Rights Commission for putting together the Dream Keeper Initiative. This initiative is so huge for our community impact. The young folks today, these young folks will be getting a gift from this DKI resources that came from community. So we want to give them a shout out. Shout out to all of our partners who continue to support the work we do. Want to give a shout out to YCD. Want to give a shout out to Collective Impact, Mo Magic, B Magic, to all of the organizations that stand up, Mega Black. We have a number of people that support what we do. And anytime we need funding, we need support, or we need help, those organizations are there to uplift what we are doing. Again, to you young people, congratulations to all of the class of 2022 for the amazing dedication and the work that you all have done, the obstacles that you have overcome, your families, your grandmothers, your aunties, and for the community watching you all here today. We love you and support you and uplift you and continue to do great things. And any of you young folks want to join our youth conversation that we have once a month, please reach out to us. We would love to have you all come on and talk about youth issues and things that impact you all. Brandon, the community is already calling for you to come and co-host. So I'm going to tell them now, we're going to get you to come back on and be a part of some of our conversations. We're going to get them to
over the
commit,
show.
Yeah, we're going to give them to come on.
Here.
Yes, we got to get them on. But again, today was a phenomenal conversation. It was very epic to see all of you. Shai, proud of you. Terrell, Nia, Brandon, Jordan, continue to do greatness. And when you go through those tough times, think about your family, your loved one, your ancestors who have done so much. Continue to stand on their shoulders, as Tony say, ascend and keep moving forward in all things that you want to do in life. With that being said, community, today is our ending of today's Sunday conversation. We'll see you all this Tuesday for our next segment of Hidden Gem, and then we'll have a follow-up of our Educational Thursday on Thursday, and then tomorrow we'll have a live segment, as we'll be live tomorrow evening out at IT Bookman, bringing you guys some insight of what's going on with that center and some of the amazing things that they're doing to impact the seniors of the community, and some of the things that's taking place with them moving forward. So we'll be out there supporting that. And with that being said, thank you all again for tuning in and just continue to support both sides of the conversation. We thank you all. Be safe out there. Enjoy the weather. To all the people that's texting me saying they watching us live at the Black Rodeo, shout out to y'all. Don't forget to enjoy the day. Be safe out there. Stay hydrated. And we looking forward to seeing y'all for our next live segment. With that being said, we bid you all good day. Have a blessed day, everybody, and we'll see you all soon. Everybody, hold on one second before y'all get off.